Welcome, everyone. This is our 2019 Treeleaf JUKAI Undertaking the Precepts ceremony. It's a joyous time. We have people who are present many different places, people who are here in our hearts. I'll explain in a minute, but one fellow in the hospital, some other people who have to work today because it was hard to explain to the boss what a JUKAI is. They're with us too. Now, before we officially start, I just want to say to everyone, this is your day. Have a joyous time. Enjoy. It's a celebration, all right? Now, we're going to first chant the Heart Sutra as we always do. Then we're going to sit a moment of Zazen. And then I will give a little more of an official welcome, and we will start the ceremony. So, let us begin. We will have 3 bows.
The heart of the perfection of great wisdom. Sutra. Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, awakened one of compassion.
In Prajnapara,
The deep practice of perfect wisdom, perceive the emptiness of all 5 conditions, and was free of suffering. Ushari.
Open
is precisely emptiness. Emptiness, precisely form, sensations, perceptions,
and consciousness.
also like this, O Shari Putra, all things are expressions of emptiness, not born, not destroyed, not stained, not pure, neither waxing nor
Emptiness
form, not sensation or perception, not formation or consciousness. No eye, hear, no
body, mind, no
sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, nor object of mind, no realm of sight, no realm of consciousness, no ignorance, no end to ignorance, no old age and death, no cessation of old age and death, no
suffering, nor cause or end to
suffering, no path, no wisdom, and no game, thus bodhisattvas live this prajna paramita with no hindrance of mind, no hindrance, therefore no fear, far beyond all
nirvana.
is already here. All past, present, and future Buddhas live this prajna paramita and realize supreme and complete enlightenment. Therefore know that prajna paramita is
The sacred mantra, the
Buddha's mantra, the supreme mantra, the incomparable mantra, by which all suffering is clear. This is no other than truth. Therefore set forth the prajna paramita mantra. Set forth this mantra and proclaim Gate Samgate Bodhisovaka Anya Shinyo. Reality existing right here now, and reciting the heart of the perfection of Great Wisdom Sutra, and undertaking the precept.
we dedicate our sincere
Shakyamuni Buddha, honored one, the historical Buddha and teacher, and to those ancestral teachers, Eihei Dogen, honored one, Soji Keizan, honored one, all successive honored ones up until Zuigaku Renpo, honored one, and Gudo Wafu, honored one, and to all other honored ones throughout history, male and female honored ones, whose names have been forgotten or left unsaid. We also dedicate these efforts to the three treasures, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, to all awakened ones and teachers in all places and times. We especially seek tranquility and well-being for all creatures now suffering or ill in health. May they be serene through all their ills. May their lives be at peace and wisdom pervade the darkness of ignorance. We dedicate our hopes and aspirations to all victims of war and violence and natural events, to the injured and to all families touched by these tragedies, to the healing of hatred in all countries and among all people, to the wisdom and compassion of our world leaders, to the peace of the world and harmony of all beings. Thus let the harmful effects of words, thoughts, and actions be dispelled, and compassion bloom in perpetual spring. May we all realize and live the enlightened way together. space and time. All bodhisattvas, ahasattvas, prajna, paramita.
All right, I will take a moment to make a final preparation here, and then we will sit a few minutes of zazen. All right. I'll ring the bell. We'll sit for a few moments. You can sit any way that's convenient in the room where you are. Don't stand on formalities. All right, very good. Please be standing in shashu. That's with your hands crossed in front of you like this, as I just say a few things to welcome you. You've come a very long road to be here. As a matter of fact, you've come from all across the world. And through much effort and much time, you've reflected on each of the precepts, found what they mean in your life. You've reflected on what is a vow, commitment, on our history, what it is to walk this path. You've sown a raksu, which is just like sowing our lives, many mistakes, but we begin again with each stitch. And then you've come here today. And that's lovely. The point of this ceremony is, as Master Dogen said, just to do good. But, of course, we're human beings. So sometimes we fall down, hopefully not too badly. And when we do that, we begin again. Don't think that if you break a precept that you're out of the game. It means that you move on to the next inning, you know. So do your best. Be good. Don't do harm to yourself and others. It's not much more than that. Now we have people here, it's wondrous. We have people here from places as far away as Ukraine. Someone retaking the vows today with us, Washin. And we have someone in Tasmania, Vietnam, and Thailand, many places. We also, as I said, have someone who's working because life just necessitated that. And I will confirm this ceremony with them in the days to come. They're here with us too. We have someone in the hospital having a little procedure, medical procedure done. We dedicate today to their recovery. And also they are here too. And I will confirm that with them, of course, but there's no doubt. And other folks who, for various reasons, are at home, joining with us, taking the vows, they're right here in my heart and yours too. So with that in mind, I think we are ready to begin. Now, I think this is our 11th or 12th time doing this ceremony, and you think I would have it down by now. I'm getting better at it, but I too, if I fumble along, if we have any difficulties along the way, don't worry. It's, we all will get through this together because this is a family affair, right? Now, I'm going to ask you to do some bows. And they're bows of gratitude. There'll be bows, for example, to your parents. Even if we all sometimes say, someone asked me, I have a difficult time with my parents. It's difficult for me to bow. Well, we bow in gratitude just for them being the vehicles for which we are here and that they may find peace in their lives. You bow to me as the preceptor, but it's not to me. You'll be bowing to the place where I sit, not to me as a person at all, nothing to do with me. It has to do with the lineage of ancestors going right back to the Buddha that is represented by the seat where I am, the place where I'm sitting, that's all. All right? So I'm going to ask you all to prostrate, or if it's difficult, a deep gasho is fine, to the seat of the preceptor, that is me, 3 times. I like to say each year that you get a good workout during this ceremony. Who said Zen is not a very physical practice? We do a little more than just sitting around, you know. All right. Now, I'd like you to, with hands in gasho, repeat the following words. And we have our spokesmen. Our spokesmen have their microphones on, I hope. By the way, our Eno has left. I hope we had someone waiting to come in to take the spot. I hope they will do so at this point if they're not here. All right. Please repeat after me. Life and death are of supreme importance.
Life and
death are of supreme importance.
And time swiftly passes by. Give me a big voice.
And time
Time swiftly passes by.
Thus I wish to receive the great precepts of Gautama Buddha.
Thus I wish to receive the great precepts of Gautama Buddha.
Please permit me to receive the precepts.
Please receive the precepts.
I am very glad you are asking to receive the precepts. Now, would you please bow to the place where I sit 3 times? All right. I like to say in our Sangha with some of the folks we have with various health conditions and getting a little older like me, don't be proud. Standing bow is all right if you need. All right. Now, I will recite some very traditional words. Please listen. This ceremony is the same as performed in Japan, in China. These words, although in Japanese, are the same words that I've witnessed when I have undertaken for myself JUKAI here years ago. And now I will read them to you. The great precepts of Gautama Buddha were kept by all Buddhas. They were transmitted from Buddha to Buddha, and they were received by ancestor after ancestor. The receiving of the precepts transcends the 3 kinds of time, past, present, and future. And the experience of truth will continue forever. Our great teacher Gautama Buddha transmitted the precepts to Master Mahakashapa. Master Mahakashapa transmitted the precepts to Master Ananda. And it is said, the transmission of the precepts has continued in this way, passing from orthodox successor to orthodox successor in one line, and so, after many ages, has come to me. Now I am bestowing the precepts upon you in return to return the profound benevolence of our great teacher Gautama Buddha, and to make you the standard for human beings and all life. We trust this to be the true reception of Gautama Buddha's wisdom and life. Respectfully following the approval of Gautama Buddha, we would like to devote ourselves to the precepts and atone. Listen to my words and wholeheartedly say the same words after each line. All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old.
All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old.
On account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance.
On account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance.
Born of my body, mouth, and mind.
Born of my body, mouth, and mind.
Now I atone for them all.
Now I atone for them all.
Very good. Now we have cleansed ourselves of the products of body, speech, and mind with the approval of Gautama Buddha, all Buddhas, and ancestors. We have gained great purity through our atonement. And so, now receive the precepts precisely. Thus, first, we undertake the 3 devotions. Have your hands in Gasho, and please repeat after me. Respectful devotion to Buddha, respectful devotion to Dharma, respectful devotion to Sangha.
Respectful devotion to Buddha, respectful devotion to Dharma, respectful devotion to Sangha.
Devotion to Buddha, the guiding one. Devotion to Dharma, the reality and teaching. Devotion to Sangha, the embracing community.
Devotion to Buddha, the guiding one. Devotion to Dharma, the reality and teaching. Devotion to Sangha, the embracing community.
Sincere devotion to Buddha. Sincere devotion to Dharma. Sincere devotion to Sangha.
Sincere devotion to Buddha, sincere devotion to Dharma, sincere devotion to Sangha.
Please bow 3 times toward the place where I sit. Now we were going to have a traditional ritual that we have had to adopt for our Sangha and these modern times. It's a ceremony in which a pine twig is taken, or a leaf. We are the Treeleaf Sangha, so I use a leaf. And by touching my forehead to yours, it's a little bit of esoteric Buddhism, you know, the power comes in a circle and then you give it back, you know. So we are all over the world. So we will do it this way. Now I've asked you to prepare a leaf or a twig. And when I say I'd like you to hold it out, not yet. When I say you just keep yours right now, you hold it out and touch mine when I hold it out. We're going to touch across the world, okay? All right. All right. Now, please come forward. Take the power. All right. Now touch your own forehead 3 times. Very good. Now let's reach across the world. Thank you. I need my power back. Very good. This is just a symbol of connection, you know, right? In a wedding ceremony, you give rings, right? Some other ceremonies, you might embrace or hold hands. This is just our way to reflect the connection. Now, we will go on. The giving of the precepts of the 3 devotions is like this. From now on, Gautama Buddha and all Buddhas are your great teachers. Never devote yourself to false teaching, harmful teachings, or the like. These precepts were retained by Buddhas of the past. They were transmitted by the ancestors. Now I give them to you. You should retain them sincerely. And so we come to the 3 pure and universal precepts. When I read these, please say after. There's a wonderful expression in Japanese. The Japanese yell, yoku tamotsu. It's very old-fashioned Japanese. And what it means is, yes, I will. I will keep them. So when I recite these, after I ask you, 3 times I'm going to read it 3 times, ask you 3 times, and you will each time say, yes, I will, and don't hold back. Number 1, to seek as you can in this body and life to avoid doing harm. This precept was retained by Buddhas of the past. It was transmitted by ancestor to ancestor. Now I bestow this upon you. Will you seek to keep this precept from now to the end of your life?
Yes, I will.
Will.
Will you seek to keep this precept?
Yes, I will.
Will.
Will you seek to keep this precept?
Yes, I will.
Will.
Number 2, to seek as you can in this body and life to live in a healthful and helping way, doing good. This precept was retained by Buddhas of the past. It was transmitted by ancestor to ancestor. And now I bestow this upon you. Will you keep this precept from now to the end of your life?
Yes, I will.
Will.
Will you seek to keep this precept?
Yes, I will.
Will.
Will you seek to keep this precept?
Yes, I will.
Well,
Number 3, to seek as you can in this body and life to live for the benefit of all sentient beings. This precept was retained by Buddhas of the past. It was transmitted by ancestor to ancestor. Now I bestow this upon you. Will you seek to keep this precept from now to the end of your life?
Yes, I will.
Will you seek to keep this precept?
Yes, I will.
Will.
Will you seek to keep this precept?
Yes, I will.
well,
Please do your best to keep these precepts. Please bow 3 times in the direction of the Buddhas and ancestors. Very good. And now, the 10 fundamental precepts. I will read them all. Please hear me with all sincerity. Number 1, to seek as you can in this body and life to refrain from the killing of life. Number 2, to seek as you can in this body and life to live in generosity and refrain from taking that which is not given. 3, to seek as you can in this body and life to refrain from misusing sexuality and all desire. 4, to seek as you can in this body and life to refrain from false and malicious speech. 5, to seek as you can in this body and life to refrain from intoxication in its many forms. 6, to seek as you can in this body and life to refrain from unconstructively criticizing the errors and faults of others. 7, to seek as you can in this body and life to refrain from praising oneself and judging others. 8, to seek as you can in this body and life to refrain from stinginess in bestowing the Buddhist teachings and all precious things. 9, to seek as you can in this body and life to refrain from all anger. 10, to seek as you can in this body and life to refrain from disparaging the 3 treasures, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. These precepts were retained by Buddhas of the past. They were transmitted by ancestor to ancestor. Now I bestow them upon you. Will you seek to keep these precepts from now to the end of your life?
Yes, I will.
I will.
Will you seek to keep these precepts?
Yes, I will.
Let me really hear you. Put your heart in it. Will you seek to keep these precepts?
Yes,
Yes,
I
I
will.
will.
That's more like it. Please bow 3 times. You should do your best to keep these precepts. Very good. And now the concluding vow. These 16 Buddhist precepts are the 3 devotions, the 3 pure and universal precepts, and the 10 fundamental precepts. They were retained by Buddhas of the past. They were transmitted by ancestor to ancestor. Now I bestow them upon you. Will you seek to keep these precepts from now to the end of your life?
Yes, I
I will.
I will.
Will you seek to keep these precepts from now to the end of your life?
Yes,
Yes,
I will.
I will.
Will you seek to keep these precepts from now to the end of your life?
Yes, I
Yes,
will.
I will.
You should do your best to keep these precepts. And yes, one more time, 3 bows. All right. I should have mentioned that you have to go to the gym for a few weeks to prepare for this ceremony. I forgot to tell you that. Everyone who's been through this ceremony feels it the next morning too. All right. Now I will bestow the Roxu and the various certificates upon you. When I tell you to pick up each, please hold them very carefully, respectfully, like so, high up. And when I tell you to place on the Roxu, you'll place it on your head. We're going to do the Kesa verse. All right. Now, first, I have a Roxu here. It's also a Nyohoe Roxu. This will represent and is all the Roxu that you have sown. The wonderful thing about Buddhist ceremonies is one time, one moment is all time, one place is all places. The Buddhas and ancestors from long ago and in the future, they're all here with us today. And we can do a little magic, like say that this Roxu that I'm holding represents the Roxu you're holding. Your hands become my hands, you know. All right? So now I will put a little incense smoke. Get that going. There we go. And you can see that from there. All right. Now I will. Okay. Please remove your Roxu. As I hand you this. Very good. Now please place your Roxu upon your head, and we will recite the verse of the Kesa. Very good. Robe of liberation boundless.
Robe of liberation boundless.
Field beyond both form and formless.
Field
Field
beyond.
beyond both form and formless.
Wearing the Tathagata's teachings.
Wearing
The
Tathagata's
teaching.
Vowing to free all sentient beings.
Vowing to free all
sentient beings.
Robe of liberation boundless.
robe
of liberation boundless.
Field beyond both form and formless.
field beyond both
On both form and formless.
Wearing the Tathagata's teachings.
wearing the Tathagata's teachings,
Vowing to save all sentient beings.
vowing to save all sentient
beings.
Robe of liberation boundless.
robe of liberation
boundless.
Field beyond both form and formless.
field beyond both
On both form and formless.
Wearing the Tathagata's teachings.
wearing the Tathagata's
teachings.
Vowing to free all sentient beings.
vowing to free
all sentient beings.
Now, this is the part of the ceremony where, first off, I know we all want to express our thanks to Shingen for helping us all through the sowing. Without him, I don't think we could have gotten to this point. And he will, of course, he takes care of everything. He will have a little lesson he will post probably today to show you how to chant the verse and how to treat your Roxu in a nice way, right? We usually say it a little more musically than we just did, all right? And he will show you all about caring for and wearing your Roxu. I want to congratulate you. You may now place it on. Please place on your Roxu. You bow forward a little. What you do is you bow forward and kind of catch it in your hand, and then you place it on. There you go. And now if you would take your lineage certificate, we're going to do actually a new thing in a moment. We're going to do in a moment for the women and the differently abled ancestors. But if you would take your traditional lineage certificate and just hold it up like so. Very good. Of course, I have one here that represents all of yours. And now please take this from me and receive yours. Congratulations. Just lift it up. You respectfully usually touch it to your forehead just for a second, and then you may place it down. It is yours now. And now this is actually not in our ceremony because we are just doing this for the first time this year. This is our certificate, the Treeleaf blood lineage chart of our women and differently abled ancestors. And as it says, we honor and recognize those ancestors who have brought us here, those who encountered barriers of sex and birth, those of different body and special mind, so often misunderstood by the many. Those who may have been met with exclusion or fear, those for whom the path was filled with obstacles and barriers. We honor those for whom entrance was so often denied and halls once barred, the successive generations of Buddhas and ancestors who transmitted the flame. So I will also spend, if you would take yours again and hold it up. Now I bestow this upon you. Please take it from me. Very lovely. All right. Now, place that down. And I will announce the names you have received. I also have to check. I said I've done this for so many years. I just want to check. I didn't leave out anything. You know, I didn't skip any of the precepts. Right? Okay. Everything's here in the ceremony. I have to check. Yes, we're doing fine. I don't think there's been a year I've missed anything, but I just have to be careful. Getting a little old here. Our recipients this year are Nan-Rin, the South Forest. Kyoshin, the needle of the community. Tokan, the island nurse. Johin, the beach of compassion. Rushi, streaming sight. Koki, the balanced key energy. Teiro, the steady path. Junkyo, the pure bridge. Nenge, natural art. And Hobun, the literature of the Dharma. Congratulations. Now I will recite some more traditional words. But first, I ask you to bow 3 times. Good. I'd also like to thank all the priests of our Sangha, the Shuso, who served as Shuso and helped us through this JUKAI and Ango season. None of this would have been possible without us all working together, and all the other Sangha members who were so encouraging. It's very moving to see how community comes together for something like this. All right. Now some more traditional words. We will now symbolically exchange places. Symbolically, as I circle around you, well, let me explain this first. Again, this is something that occurs in Japan, in my experience. And what it is now you have been welcomed into the family of our lineage. And so you take my seat, because now you have within you that lineage. So you sit here. Now, of course, you're at home, so you're going to picture this in your heart. You're going to visualize this. But you're here. And I will represent all the members of our Sangha who have ever received JUKAI or ordination, and all the greater Sangha. And we will circle around you now, all right, to welcome you. So you're going, in a moment I'll get up and you will take my seat. And I will read these words, first to explain. We will now symbolically exchange places. Symbolically, as I circle around you, all members of the Sangha who have previously undertaken JUKAI, all teachers, all Buddhas and ancestors are circling around you to welcome you. Please close your eyes and see that you are now sitting where I am sitting. Picture yourself sitting in this chair where I have been sitting. Place your hands in Gasho and see me and all the Buddhas and ancestors as we now circle you 3 times, and I intone the traditional words. All right. Takes me a moment to get up. Please bear with me. I have a special bell on the altar that I get to use once a year just for this. Let me retrieve it. All right, please take my seat. You can remain standing if you want, but in your heart, you are here where the Buddhas and ancestors sit. All right? A person who receives the Buddhist precepts enters the state of Buddha at once. They stand at the same level as Gautama Buddha. We can say they are a child of Buddha. A person who receives the Buddhist precepts enters the state of Buddha at once. They stand at the same level as Gautama Buddha. We can say they are a child of Buddha. A person who receives the Buddhist precepts enters the state of Buddha at once. They stand at the same level as Gautama Buddha. We can say they are a child of Buddha. A person who receives the Buddhist precepts enters the state of Buddha at once. They stand at the same level as Gautama Buddha. We can say they are a child of Buddha. A person who receives the Buddhist precepts enters the state of Buddha at once. They stand at the same level as Gautama Buddha. We can say they are a child of Buddha. A person who receives the Buddhist precepts enters the state of Buddha at once. They stand at the same level as Gautama Buddha. we can say they are a child of Buddha. Please open your eyes and return to your places. All right. And please bow toward the Buddhas and ancestors again 3 times. All right, now I will rise and we will give a final deep bow to the Buddha. Then I will bow to all of you and I will thank you. Please join me in a standing bow to the Buddha. Thank you. Now let us bow to each other. The ceremony is now concluded. Please live your life and go in peace. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a lovely day, and please celebrate this in some way with someone you love. All right? Thank you, everybody. That's another beautiful ceremony for our community. All right? Thank you all.